Hello and welcome back to Everybody Loves Raiken, our 5th edition live play that meets almost every Tuesday night. We've been off for the last couple weeks as we've had some players busy with things, but we are back. And so, last time, the players had struck their bargain with the Blue Dragon Azurai to use the scales that he gave them to bring down the other dragons and help keep his ancestor El Sementh alive in the material plane. And they spent time setting up sendings and planning out how they were going to make this all work. And so at the end of that session, they enacted the first steps in their plan. They sent a sending to Daikon Gebrel, the leader of Shirkawa, a city that the party traveled through once a long time ago. In fact, before we began streaming. So this will be the first time the party goes to Daiko-Selthis on stream. And they got permission to use the teleportation circle there, and they're going to petition the leader, Daikon Gebrel, for military assistance in the engagement with the dragons. They know where the black scale is, that the Platinum Sentinels of Tuka have possession of that, so it's there when they need it. And then there are a few other pieces that they need to make sure fall into place. And so, we start off. The party has cast teleport via Cyrus to go to the teleportation circle in the Mages Guild of Daiko-Selthis. So, you all teleport, traveling through this magic tunnel, forward in time, as it were, as you are traveling far to the east. It is later in the day. As you step out onto this permanent teleportation circle, you can see you are surrounded by these marble walls, not unlike the building that contained the teleportation circles on the Isle of Sol Syracuse and the Magic University thereon. But you notice that it is not definitively a building, as the ground around the teleportation circle is mossy and natural and covered in puddles. There is vegetation, ferns, growing up all around you, and the teleportation circle seems either powered or maintained or adorned with these magically glowing crystals. As you step out into this, the warmth of the late afternoon washes over you, and you can hear the crying of birds and the buzzing of bugs. After a few seconds of getting your bearings, finding your feet under you after this teleportation, there is going to come a voice from the southwest. And you're going to see an elf woman with dark skin, long dark brown hair, and an outfit that seems to ride the line between what you expect of, say, a city councilor in a modern city and, a forest-living ranger, druid, barbarian type person. As they have this mix and mingle of hempen, vine-like, flowered clothing mixed in with more traditional silks. As she calls out and says, "Welcome, travelers. Welcome back to Daiko-Selthis."
To the voice in the sky. This is Gebrel?
This is Daikon Gebrel. You know your friend very well.
And the room for the teleportation circle, this is what it was like before?
Yeah.
Right? Cool. I just wanted to make sure.
It was luckily before the... it was before the recording, so I had to just go with my gut.
Cool. I think it makes sense.
But there is nothing for your characters, even if I have described it differently now. For the characters, it is the same.
Cool. Larametis will smile and start walking over and say, "It is good to be back, although I wish that some of our news was under better circumstances."
So what you're telling me, Laramendis, is that you don't have good news for me, even though I asked you to have good news for me?
I think that it might be possible for someone to spin some of the news as good.
Seeing your group just clogged up behind you, she's going to take a few steps back and gesture you forward so that people can leave the teleportation room. As you're leaving this semi-structure, the teleportation circle, you're going to see the magical glow to all of the glyphs and runes and lines that make it up are going to die out slowly, and you're going to see that the crystals that were already glowing with this soft purple light are going to increase their brilliance and turn a bit reddish, deeper purple. They look a little dangerous now. She's going to look over the party as you continue to speak to her. Hang on, there's a couple of people who aren't in the program that I need to catch up. Oop. Boop. There we go. And you're going to see that there is recognition interface as she looks over a lot of you. Her eyes will linger on Cyrus, and Gebrel was with the party, so Cyrus, for a moment, and then she'll seem to remember.
Was Gebrel with the party? I thought the Gebrel wasn't.
No, Gebrel joined the party after Raiken, and Raiken was before Daiko-Selthis. Anyway, she's going to, her eyes will linger on Cyrus for a moment, and then she will nod, seeming to remember something. Before she finds, Leah, and says, "Well, at least there's someone I can tell has changed in all this time. I hope you all are well. I haven't heard from you in over a month, and the world hasn't gotten any safer in that time." She does turn her attention back to Naramendis as she makes this accusation.
Things have been busy.
Indeed.
That's putting it lightly.
Well, your arrival is timely. The majority of the interesting goings-on of my city will be concluding shortly, and you'll be able to sit for a meal with me and my own retinue. You can explain what it is that you're hoping to share and or get from me. And, then I think you owe me a race.
I think so. Although I'm a bit rustier on that than I think is entirely fair. Maybe I can get a head start? He smirks as he says it.
She smiles politely at you and just says, "This just means my odds are better." If you would, you may all join me in the, I guess I'll call it the Capitol building. She indicates an extraordinarily large tree with a broad staircase leading off of a wooden structure up high in its branches.
Gladly.
With no objections voiced by any of the party, we will move
on.
We'll just move to there.
Somebody got caught.
Got stuck on the tree.
They grabbed their token while I was moving them.
No, got caught because dragging everyone got caught on the building
Yeah,
there.
I got caught on that tree building there.
That's hilarious, then.
My face was just being rammed into it.
Yeah, that little tree building there was to represent the Mages Guild, which exists next to the teleportation circle.
I called the fire department. We got a rogue trapped in a tree.
Yup. So, as you are led to this Capitol building, which is significantly larger than this map that I was able to get off to, you can look around and you see, for actually all of you, it's so infrequent that I get to say that. It's a place that all of you have been before. You see the familiar city of Daiko-Selthis. As you recall, structurally, architecturally, it is half a modern, ground-based, wooden stone building city, and half an area of tree houses, very elven kind type things, living in communion with the forest, as the trees have been magically or naturally shaped into these buildings. And you will remember that with their connection with the forest, with their connection with nature, with their connection with Melora, there is some malleability to the trees and the natural growth here to help accommodate people. You will also remember that the last time you were here, there was a good deal of strife between the citizens here, those who worshipped Arathis, the goddess of civilization, and defeating the wilderness to bend it to the will of mankind, and Melora, the goddess of nature and wild growth, and the ocean. You don't see the protests going on right now that you saw last time you were here. Things seem quiet, well adjusted. People are walking the streets. It's a fairly populous city. It's pretty large, about the size of Bromdor's Volinar, where you spend a lot of your time, but without the walls and battlements that make it feel like a fortress there. She leads you up into this multi-level, very large tree building. Tree house. Calling it a tree house just sounds so juvenile. Her dad built this for her when she was a kid. No, I'm kidding.
Tree palace.
Sure, the tree palace. Anyway, she leads you here.
We all have a club meeting in the treehouse. No girls allowed.
Yeah, apparently.
Which means that I have to go down. But the rest of you can enjoy it.
So this tree palace is about 4 levels tall, and as you're being led through it, you can see is filled with rooms that strike this balance between natural wood growth and open views of the outside, coverage, with more boughs and branches, and flooring with beds of needles, very natural, and opulent modernization with these furniture, tables and chairs, rugs. It's this interesting dichotomy, this collision of nature and modern architecture and upholstery, as she leads you through, and you can smell the delicious smells of many foods being prepared on one of the levels. She takes you up to about the 3rd level of this, which has a wide-open view of the city. You can look down and see all of the buildings stretching away toward the massive river that you remember taking that push barge from, the pole barge that you rode from here to Tuca, about a month and a half ago. That ancient history moment whereupon you face down the spirit of the North River and her hydri, and a giant rock that wanted to eat all of the Pullman on your barge.
and had our tiny hut on the riverbank dispelled at one point, as I recall.
Because a group of bandits that included a cleric came after you.
Right, and that was where somebody just froze and
Mysteriously
shattered for
froze
no
to
reason.
death. Yeah. never found out why that occurred.
You hear all the time about spontaneous combustion, right? It's just the opposite, you know?
Exactly. Entropy, right? All the energy left his body because chaos, and he froze.
Yeah, it's just...
Happens all the time. She offers you seats at a long table that you see the legs of which seem to actually be... Like, the tree itself grew these offshoots of the branches that became this table. They seem to be part of the tree itself. And as she sits with you with this large view of the city out there, she sits and courses of food are brought to the party. And as, the appetizers are beginning to be served, bowls of soup with bread, she steeples her fingers and leans forward onto the table, staring down Laramandus, and says, "Thank you all for joining me here. Thank you for the sending. It would have been unfortunate if you tried to use the teleportation circle without permission. I get the sense, from your words, that there are important matters and dangerous things to discuss, so I would like to dive into them. May we?"
I think that would be prudent.
She gestures with an open palm towards you.
Can they also dive into this food? I'm starving.
Oh, of course. You don't all need to wait to eat before speaking. You may say what is on your mind, please. This is an open conversation. You all have been through things, I am certain. We've been apart a while, and all of you have changed up your gear. Some of you have new scars, she says, kind of tilting her head a little bit at Yukikaze.
Self-inflicted, honestly, but...
That was a very poor way to...
I'm not sure what would drive a man to scar his face like that, but if you had your reasons, I'm glad that it worked out.
I was trying to be mysterious, and I don't know.
Very well. Does the scar, does the self-inflicted wound have to do with whatever is threatening my city?
No. Actually, with everything that's going on, it does in a sense. But no, it's mainly part of just my travels and trials with dealing with relation to Bahamut.
All right.
We have with us here the champion of Bahamut, who will very likely be helpful in the endeavors that are going to happen around the dragons that have been causing some amount of havoc in the world recently.
You have the champion of Bahamut with you. She looks around.
When he said that, he gestured at Yukikaze.
Then in that case, she will say, another champion of Bahamut.
Yes, there can be more than one.
Interesting. We've already been visited by one. Is there some other service to Bahamut that you wish to petition for?
Out of character, real quick, guys. We are it. What? Crap. I don't know. No.
You're in Shirkawa, which is the nation directly north of Calavar and Tuca and
I was trying
Toralos, the desert where your tribe lives.
I was trying to remember how we were putting or explaining our plan, so that the way I word it is because
Just
I forgot
before you dive into it, just understand, because your character will understand this, that she's saying that she's already aware of
yes,
Raiken's brother.
but I don't remember. I'm actually drawing a little bit blank. Is if we were going to be divulging our alternate plan to her.
Laramendus would have made it clear to everyone if it was not clear before. Like in discussions, Laramendus intended to tell her everything.
Okay. All right. So back in then.
Mm-hmm.
With me being another champion, we are still following Bahamut's tenets in his will, but with different methods or goals in mind. For me, it's more a different method than the other champion is going about it.
Similar
Top-
to Shagrazir when he took the dragons down.
Tatsuya's plan is foolhardy and will get too many people killed.
She closes her eyes, seeming to think about the information you've just given her, the three of you that have spoken. And after a moment, she's going to hold up her hands, forestalling more speaking. Says, "Let me just make sure I understand correctly what it is you're saying. This man, Yukikaze, I believe your name was, you are another champion of Bahamut, and you wish to enact a plan, you wish to serve the will of Bahamut at odds with Tatsuya Lumos, who has previously visited us to collect warriors to fight Tiamat. You do not wish to do that.
I do not wish to do that. I wish to seal them.
Seal them?
The dragons.
Like they were before.
Like they were before. The dragons were sealed.
Yep.
Yes, by Shagrazir, a former champion of Bahamut.
And they stopped being sealed. That is why they have risen.
Tatsuya actually unsealed them.
What?
Yes.
Why would he do that?
To follow in Bahamut's will.
Well, to quickly say it, he wants to bring Tiamat out to kill Tiamat for Bahamut.
In order to kill
the entire world for it.
In order to kill Tiamat, he has to bring Tiamat here.
Yes. And by doing so, unseal the dragons to bring them to kill them and bring Tiamat.
So, if he does nothing, Tiamat will not come here.
Yep.
Tiamat will only rise when all 5 of her children have been killed in quick succession.
On the order of an hour or two.
This all sounds ritualistic, the way you describe it.
Yeah, very much so.
Does that mean that Tiamat was not a direct threat? Or is not a direct threat? And by direct threat, she's going to, again, look across the table, look around at you, and, with an expression on her face that says, I'm trying to establish that I do know things. Maybe not all the things, but I do know things. I understand that she is able to work through her followers and the dragons themselves. Those are threats. But I mean, she would not come and destroy cities with her own claws.
Not in any sense, or not more than any other god.
No, she's only a direct threat because Tatsuya is making her a direct threat.
Why? I don't fully understand that part, because this seems... I agree that destroying Tiamat is good, but I don't understand why... What?
So this goes into Tatsuya's beliefs after this. Tatsuya has become displeased with the current state of the world and wants to bring tragedy and chaos to bring us together.
All of this destruction.
He doesn't necessarily want to bring tragedy and chaos. He wants to bring people together to stop a giant tragedy and chaos because he thinks that's the only way to bring the world together.
He wanted to create a threat that the world would have to unite to defeat.
That my way was just less nice.
You're going to see her actually, like...
He's bringing tragedy and chaos to try to bring the world together to deal with it.
She's going to lean back, her back falling into her chair and just kind of staring ahead for a moment.
I don't think bringing the world together has anything to do with it for him. He simply wants Tiamat dead, and the world coming together is how he intends to do that.
He has stated that he wants that.
Yeah, he specifically said that he is not pleased with how the world is right now.
Yeah.
He's using Bahamut's will to kill Tiamat as the driving force to unite the people to do that, but his personal goal is to bring the world together.
This is correct, and this was stated in different ways at different times to the party, but the way the party has stated it to you, Cyrus, is correct, and it's reasonable either way if you want have Cyrus already understand that, or if you want to be coming more into the understanding of that now, either way. But
you probably would have gotten it. It's just all this has been gone over a fair amount of real time, so I think I just probably forgot.
Right, which is why I'm letting you know that you can run it either way you want, but your character can also just have understood this properly if you want. Yes, he has been using the destruction of Tiamat as the killing two birds with one stone. The main goal was to end the dispute, the separation of the different nations of the world, the distrust therein. Okay. I suppose that I could see that being the driving force behind the words he used with us. But it does surprise me to hear. I think, were it not you, Laramandus, telling me this, I would have dismissed this as a flight of fancy by someone who simply didn't like or trust this man, Tatsuya. But that being said, he did come across as very trustworthy and righteous, so it is still a surprise.
He is my brother.
Well, even though his choices may be not favorable, he is still a very charismatic person.
And he fully believes what he's doing is the right thing.
Oh, he's definitely righteous.
The people I have working for me on the border and in and around Tuka have recently sent word back here that the Empire of the Four Queens is moving a sizable naval detachment through the waters along the coast, and they will soon reach my lands of Shirakawa. It seems that they are going to be moving in alignment with Tatsuya to take on the dragons where they have nested in Ebengard. Do you confirm or deny this as the most likely reason for their movement?
That is accurate to the knowledge that we have.
Do you believe that, given Tatsuya's deception, that they could in fact be dangerous to my people or my lands?
So out of character, I think that Laramendes has no reason to believe that they would be dangerous to Shirakawa.
If Gebrel's reaction to your news about Tatsuya is any indication, most of the people that he's dealt with and gotten to answer his call believe his cause to be righteous and will likely not be interfering with one another, since Tatsuya's purpose was to get them to cooperate. It would seem to go against that if he were not to have given them some sort of order, encouragement, ultimatum not to mess with one another until the dragon situation is rectified.
So Laramendes will say, unless the Empire has some reason to attempt to be using this as some sort of subterfuge to launch some kind of attack, I don't see any reason why the working with Tatsuya about this would lead to them being hostile to Shirakawa. My belief is that they are just intending to move through to go fight the dragons, but I am unaware of the political situation that might cause them to take advantage of this situation. But if that's the case, it likely doesn't have anything to do with what's going on from the side of Tatsuya.
I will move my people in accordance with that. Stay out of their way, but ready in case they try anything then. Thank you for your information to this end. This is a lot. And unfortunate. But I fear there is yet more that I won't like, so please tell me. This is news that I needed, that I wanted, that you wished to share. What did you come to ask for?
Our intent, with the understanding that bringing Tiamat into this world is too risky of a gamble, is to, as was said, perform the rituals that had been performed. I say the amount of time. I don't remember how.
1,000 years ago.
1,000 years. Okay.
I kept them all nice round numbers.
Excellent. To lock away the souls of the children of Tiamat, with one exception. In order to deal with the other children, we have come into the knowledge that at least some set of Elsementh's brood is working to maneuver things in such a way that Elsementh remains active as the others are dead or sealed away, which is, as long as we can hide the artifacts properly, the same thing.
Why, if I may interrupt you for a moment, because there's a thread there I wish to pluck at, why was I unaware of these spells that sealed the dragons and these artifacts you speak of?
Because the followers of Bahamut and the group that was keeping them minimized all information related to them, period, to keep it as safe as possible, so that no one knew about them, no one could touch them, no one could awaken the dragons.
Nobody knew about the ceiling, then nobody would be able to unseal them.
Interesting. Well, that does sound like a good plan. Why did it fail?
Actually, did we catch that exactly?
You said that Tatsuya did this.
I think out of character, the question is, do we know how Tatsuya gained that knowledge in the first place?
Well, yeah,
I think
because
is the question that Yukikaze is trying to broach. I think that we don't
No.
know how Tatsuya found out.
You
Well,
don't.
we know he became a champion, but we don't know when he became a champion. So we don't know if that was at the time that he gained that knowledge.
It's possible he got the knowledge from Bahamut.
Yeah, Laramandus will say, but how he learned about the scales and their locations and the ritual to perform them is unknown to us. Even if he had the aid of one of the orders that had been hiding one of the scales, by design, he should not have had easy access to any of the others or knowledge of their whereabouts.
This runs deep. It would have to. This is good information. Can we trust it? You know this all to be true. Do you have proof?
The scales and the rituals, or
Well, she's indicating kind of all of it, but yes, she is specifically talking about the whole dragons being sealed, the secret orders, and everything. Like, she only has your word to go on right now, and as far as she knows, you read it in some book that's defunct.
I think at that point, Laramandus will turn to Yukikaze and say, unless something has truly run deep to corrupt the artifacts of Bahamut in such a way, everything that we have learned since then aligns with the information we have, and part of that information is coming from the gods themselves. So,
Well, I actually talked to Shagrazir himself.
And Shagrazir was a champion of Bahamut?
Yes, once I obtained all of the armor, I guess it allowed me to it allowed him to reach me.
He was the one who defeated the dragons.
Yes.
Of course. Sorry, I don't study Bahamut's lore frequently.
I would be happy tomorrow to commune to have more direct confirmation about specific bits of information, if you would find that beneficial now that we have this insight. There's just a chance of it failing today, which is why I can't.
She's going to
she's going
to smirk at you and say, "You have been expanding your spell repertoire, haven't you?"
It has, as I said, been a busy time. It's true. I don't think he had that feat back then.
Well, it will be an interesting race.
Laramandus loses his ability to cast Wish just to win a fucking race.
That would be one for the history books.
I regret nothing. As just a motorboat engine gets attached to the back of the turtle.
Wonderful.
And the rest of time, being overly competitive to the point of self-destruction. Calling you Laramentus.
I think that would likely be a good idea if you were staying so long. Yes.
I imagine that I have to stay at least for some of that time to be able to have our race. I was also hoping that I might speak with the Mages Guild here and see if I could spend a little time learning a few spells that I think would be beneficial to our intents.
Of course. Alright, then I'll go with Fen. It's Fen. That one's neutral sounding. Oh. Gebrel is over here now. Hello, Gebrel. Did you want to add anything to the conversation, Gebrel?
No, I think everything's being covered.
Okay. I mean, you can always ask questions if anything is curious to you. At that, she will say, well, I planned to do the race after dinner. I didn't want to get in the way of whatever travel plans you had, but if you're going to spend time in the city, then yes, I would love to learn from this commune tomorrow. I can give you access to Fen, but I think I'm going to hold that hostage in exchange for the race.
Understandable. Unfortunate, but...
In the time you've been talking, more courses of this meal have come. They have all been delicious. Most of them have been placed in, like, serving trays in the middle so that you are not being presented with food that you might not eat on a plate just for you. It seems to be primarily vegetarian, but there are a good selection of meats scattered throughout, so that everybody should be able to find something they like or can stomach. You are served water and wine.
Laramentus has no skills that are useful in a turtle race. My handling is a +0, my athletics is a -1.
Well, I have come up with a way to run it that should be hopefully interesting, that somewhat mimics...
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely gonna be fun.
Yes. Alright. That covers the dragons, I believe. Some of our fighters have gone responding to Tatsuya's call. You are running this other plan that requires a ritual to seal the dragons. Do you need only information and time to prepare for that? Would our scholars help you?
I think that part of why we thought that we should speak with you personally about this is the information that Elsimenth will remain.
Yes, and I am concerned about that, but I want to make sure everything else about your plan is seen to, and that I have the time, the information early, so that I can make arrangements to help you if you need another sword or another spellcaster, or a spell out of our library. Although I guess maybe that's why you wish to speak with Fen.
That was my intent for the spells, although I suppose things might come easier than needing to deal with the guild if there are things in the library that I can utilize.
Both are available to you, my old friend.
Out of
Since
character,
you-
I assume that gate won't be in the library. It's like, why the fuck would a 9th level spell that is designed specifically to steal someone from somewhere?
We'll have to let the dice decide that.
I do have good investigation.
Since you bring it up, though, please do tell me a little bit about this plan with Elsamanthe remaining unsealed. The other... She seems to be thinking back. 4 dragons will be sealed, just not Elsamanthe.
Yes.
And Elsamanthe is red.
Elsamanthe is the blue one.
She seems frustrated not to have the correct answers to these things, and she will quickly eye down the table and she says, look, no one has had to worry about this in 1,000 years, okay? It's not like it was on the Lead a Nation quiz when I took power.
And I wish it was not information that was relevant.
There's a Lead the Nation quiz?
There should be,
There's
shouldn't
only
there?
one way for you to find out.
One would hope that their leaders are qualified. Now then,
That would be nice.
you intend to broker some sort of deal with the Blue Dragon? How can we be sure that leaving even one of them, obviously one is easier to deal with, safer for the world than 5, but they're still ancient, powerful. Weren't they the children of Tiamat herself? They're basically gods on their own. Right? That's right, isn't it?
Laramentis will, nod gravely, because, still, while this is our plan, and Laramentis is fairly convinced that this is, the best shot that we have, still, the idea of leaving one of them active is not, ideal, but, our belief with the information that we have is that our odds were too not in our favor to attempt to push for a different situation, and our acquiring of the hold on, we are currently in possession of
The red and the green ones.
red and the green, right? Okay, yeah, and then we had okay, yeah. Right, because Widimir is ostensibly still sealed, right? I remember things. I was thinking about. I thought we traded 1 for 2, and we know where 1 is. Where is 5? This provides us the best chance of saving as many people as possible, and given the beginnings of yes, the children of Tiamat are near to gods, but they are gods that can be negotiated with if we can have better understandings of what they want, and that at least puts us in a position where we can attempt to mitigate things, and the aid of one of them in this fight against their siblings will give us a much better chance of sealing them and with his little death on the side of mortals as possible.
Very well. She's going to kind of pause as she thinks about your words for a second. Does the sealing process is dangerous to mortals too?
The sealing process can only be done after one of them is killed.
Oh.
Essentially, you kill it and then trap its soul in one of these artifacts that was created. And then the soul cannot return to the body. Without this, if you kill them, they will just come back in a matter of hours.
So you have to fight them anyway. This doesn't avoid the fight. You have to win. And then you have to perform a ritual, have an artifact for that ritual, and succeed. And then they're sealed.
Yes.
All while
Which is,
likely being attacked by the remaining two.
which is why the assistance of one of them will be beneficial.
I'm not remembering a grand story of this Shagrazir fighting all 5 dragons and sealing them at once. So I'm going to say, in lieu of having been properly schooled on this information, that I presume that means he didn't fight them all at once. It's he, right?
Yes, they were sealed individually, but now all of the children have congregated together, and they are likely concerned about similar actions being taken against them as before.
You have your work cut out for you, adventurers.
Lerman just smiles. It's not like a happy smile, like an acknowledging kind of smile.
There is a defense force, a standing army here in Shirakawa. It is not large. It was mostly to prevent large conflicts by utilizing the rivers and the forest to our advantage if any of our neighbors got any ideas about our land. And it has rarely needed to be used, thankfully. But if we find that the Empire's forces pass through peaceably, then I would offer their services to you thereafter. Since it sounds like you're going to need all the people you can get to fight dragons. Is that fair to say?
Their aid would be greatly appreciated.
Good. I believe that means that I have followed this so far. I would like to point out to you that it sounds a bit insane, and remind you that were you anyone else on this planet, the conversation would not have lasted this long.
I wish that none of this were true.
Well, none of these others with you has refuted you, so at least they stand with you, and I trust you.
I imagine she's done some insight checks on us and all that.
Yes.
We have talked in great length over many hours dealing with this.
Well, I understand the burden of responsibility for the lives of others, somewhat uniquely, I think, as the leader of a nation. Though I will admit that I have never raised a sword or cast a spell against so great an enemy as these dragons my own self. In that, I want to thank all of you. It is rare that anyone chooses the life of a hero, or so I have always been told. Responsibility like that tends to be thrust upon a person, whether they ask for it or not. That you have accepted that responsibility and stood resiliently in the shadow of all of this danger world that, at the best of times, seems at odds with itself, and at the worst of times ready to come apart at its very seams. Well, that resilience alone is nothing short of heroic, in my eyes. You have my appreciation, as humbly as a leader of a nation can give it. And she's going to be making eye contact with each of you as she says all of this.
It is appreciated, and I do thank you for your time immensely.
Before I forget, as DM, I believe that Yuki, you had been taking notes at the end of last session in character. Was that something that the party needed to know about?
Crap. Where did I put said note?
Because you had described that he was, like, not really taking part in the discussion, but very focused on this, these sheets of parchment.
No, that's not part of this. No, that was the speech.
Yeah.
I'm still debating the speech to
take over the cult.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need to mention that right now.
You don't need to if you don't think you need to. I just was trying to remember what it was, so thank you for helping me remember what it was.
Yeah, Laramentis did not mention that part of the plan, and currently I don't think I would have mentioned anything about it yet, because I'm more focused on making it instead of the actual, like, I don't want to do it really.
Yeah.
This is like a big thing, so I'm not going to mention it unless someone else brings it up.
Well, I hope all of you have enjoyed the meal. Thank you for your bravery, your heroic actions, and the information that you brought me today. All of you, but especially you, Lair. I would offer all of you rooms within this palace. Stay the night, or longer if you need to. You have free run of the city. My guards will be informed to let you go about your business, and that you are permitted to carry your weapons openly here. You are not a threat to my people. But do note that if you become a threat to my people, or make trouble, my guards will respond. You are not given carte blanche in that. But I don't imagine that will be a problem. I just feel I need to state it.
Out of character DM bringing things up that we did. How dare!
That being a leader, I feel that's a reasonable thing to say, and I personally am not going to carry around my stuff around town.
Okay.
I said that out loud.
Laramentis will say, I'm also happy to provide any more information that we have if in any discussions that come up between you and any of your associates, you need more clarity from us about the situation or the information that we have.
I need some time to digest what you have already given me, to think about its implications and determine if there is more action I yet wish to take. And as I do so, I will come up with more questions for you, Laramendus. But as I do that, I would first offer you one of my servants to take you to your rooms to put down anything that burdens you, and then I would invite you all to accompany me to the lake. So you can all watch me take your friend Laramendus down.
Yeah, that's what
I said I was
talking
rusty.
about.
I'm not sure I'm that rusty.
I am bad with names. But Cyrus will look to the other individual in the race that is not Laramendus and wish them good luck.
Daikon
And it's
Gebrel.
like holds his a hand over his chest, into like Cyrus, you wound me, kind of pose. And then he'll stop and he'll be like, "Well, I suppose I don't need the luck."
Indeed. I will remind you that if you're rusty now, getting in the water isn't going to help. With that, you will be taken to a set of rooms, broken up however you like, if you wish to room alone, or if you wish to share with other people. This place has more than enough. After you have left your stuff off in those rooms,
I think Laramendus changes it. I assume that there's some kind of outfit that one generally is wearing for the I assume that Laramendus is going to wear that. Mostly, I want to get out of my robes.
I will say the servants will lead you there, but moments after you have begun to set down your bag and dig through it for another outfit, there is going to be a knock at your door, Laramendus.
Laramendus will open the door.
It is Daikon Gebrel. And she will be eyeing you, a little bit suspiciously, as she stands in the doorway. She's going to look you up and down and just say, "I didn't want to say anything about it at dinner, but I think it's a good thing that I came to retrieve you from the teleportation circle, rather than let Fen do it.
That was greatly appreciated."
Given that you appear to have..." And she's going to kind of, put her fingers to her lips, like I've got a secret. "Stolen some robes from the Arcane University."
Out of character, I think... I'm trying to decide if how Lerman is going to throw the dean under the bus. Or if he's just going to
If he's getting thrown under the bus, just how?
No. Basically, Laramendus's options at this point are either divert to being they were not stolen. I was given them by the dean of the Abjuration School because she knew at least a large portion of the situation that we were going in, and their magics will be useful when dealing with dragons. Or if he play it a little coy.
just remember to give Narnia enough time to invent a bus before you throw the dean under.
She's already working on it. I think that with Gebrel, he might play more coy.
Okay.
and
So much
say,
for that legendary trust.
Well, no, but like, I think he'll say, I guess he'll say, uh, not stolen, but their magics will be beneficial in our fight, I believe, and then I'm sure they will find their way back to where they're supposed to be. And he'll like be smirking as he says it.
she's got like an almost impressed look on her face, as she seems to really still believe that you've stolen them. And she nods and says, "Well, however it is, I simply recommend not letting Fen see them. He still wears his class ring and talks about it at every meal."
So many of them do. I went out of character. I went to school in a little island off the coast, in the same way that people talk about like a school like going just north of Boston.
Yeah, exactly. They definitely give themselves a lot of prestige for it, and they pump themselves up on it.
Yeah, there were unfortunately some circumstances involving some oozes and my previous clothing that necessitated changing into something that would not get destroyed as quickly. But
she's going to sweep a hand toward the furnishings of the room and say, "I am certain that should you need it, there you'll find fitting clothes among these drawers."
Thank you.
They won't be magic like those, but you are welcome to them for as long as you need them. With that, she's going to take hold of the door and close it as she turns away from you, and giving you one last smiling nod.
See what like.
Looking forward to it. You hear her come back through the closed door.
And Laraminus will change.
Very good.
Very happy to no longer be in the robes that's going to make everyone think that he stole them.
I mean...
Or just murder him for them.
They're pretty iconic.
Yeah, they're not subtle. Like, the university is many things. Subtle is not one of them.
Look, subtlety doesn't pay the bills, okay? Alright, I think I grabbed everybody. Now, you've all been to this city once before, so your characters are all, like, even if you're not certain of all the ins and outs and all the little places you can go, Leah, your ability to use back alleys and things will still help you here if you want to, but because I know that it is something that is probably high on Raiken's priority list, you will remember that there is a smith that can deal with magic weapons by the river. It was run by a halfling. That is where Yukikaze had his swords engraved.
Right,
Which I'm not going to go there because it's going to make me sad.
You don't have to go there, but remember that Raiken's axe was damaged, and he'll need to have it repaired before it can do full damage again.
Yes, I must do this.
But if you ask me where to go, I will get choked up when I say it.
Yukikaze, where do I go to get this fixed?
Okay. It's... What's the name of the guy again?
It was a halfling woman named Bliss.
There's... You go this way, and this way, to this shop, but the shopkeeper's name is Bliss.
And the smith...
That's where you can go. And then I walk away.
That was the person who ran the store, and the person who ran the forge that she worked with was Ardith.
As you walk away, thanks, Yukikaze! Man, I don't know why he started crying.
So, that very large building over there, one of the few buildings I've placed on the map because it was so much. And even over 2 weeks, I was like, I don't have the wherewithal to make all these buildings. I'm just gonna set up some roads and be like, it's a city. There's buildings along all the roads. And I'm just gonna build the important ones. So, the very large building with all the, chimneys, the tall chimneys with white smoke billowing out of them, seems to be the shop that he was indicating. Stands between you and the wharf.
The stuff with the smith is going to happen. I'm going to stab my cat.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to break things up that way.
So, I will be back.
Raiken will head there.
Alrighty. Anyone who wishes to is, of course, welcome to come too. It sounds like Yukikaze doesn't want to go there, which is totally fine. But yeah.
It's still too soon. It's still
too soon.
It's only been...
Did one of his weapons die and I missed it?
Well, yeah, like you said, it's been a month. It's been a month well, it's not been a month since I lost my sword. It's been a month since I got in the grave. Yeah.
Fire dragon to...
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been under a month. So, yes, you can tell me is still very sad about his sword.
The wounds are fresh.
Suimaru and Kimaru. Oh, we just dealt with dealing with a blue dragon and all this other bullcrap, so Yukikaze just wants to rest. And then dredging up sad memories.
Alright, so you make your way over here. It's a pretty bustling city. You're seeing a lot of wood elves seem to be moving about. They're probably the most prominently represented humanoid race here. There's a good mix of high elves and dwarves, humans, halflings here. Seem to be the most prominently represented. Now and again, you'll spot a dragonborn or a tiefling, but it seems to be predominantly wood elves, human, high elf, dwarf, halfling. As you make your way across the city, you notice that people are going about to like the shops that are open in the evening. A lot of them seem to be either heading home for dinner or smelling of food, having just ate, and just going out to take care of a few last things before the sun sets. You get here, and the shop door is still open. And through it, you can see racks of weapons and armor and an open showroom. Making your way inside, you see that there is a halfling sat on a stool, reading a sheet of parchment with something written on it. And there are two doors that are closed. And as you approach them, you notice that the air gets a lot warmer. As you approach the counter, Raiken, they are going to notice you stomping up and look up at you, kind of tilting their parchment down. And they say in their small halfling voice, "What can I do for you?"
Raiken will pull out his axe, in both hands, kind of horizontally, offering it onto the table, and sigh. It was damaged in battle. I'm hoping perhaps you might be able to fix it.
She's going to, lean over it on the table, as it lays on the table, and she's going to inspect the damaged edge. As we said, the streaks that the acid ate into the surface of it, and the damaged cutting edge they're under. And she's going to, with some effort, kind of lift it to inspect the underside by candlelight. And after a few minutes of kind of hmming and hawing, she's going to let it rest and fold her arms across her chest and think before looking up at you and says, "Yeah, I think that we can do something interesting with this if you would be open to it. More than just fix it. It won't change the price too much even, and it'll make our job easier. So, that in mind, I would say 10 gold pieces to cover supplies."
That works for me. And Raiken will pull out the 10 gold pieces.
She'll take them from you, just do the quick count and put them behind the counter. You hear them clink down. And she says, "Alright, the forges are still hot. Luckily you've caught us before we set them to cool. I think that we can have this done tonight, and you can pick it up in the morning."
Fantastic. I very much appreciate this.
She's going to nod with a broad smile on her halfling face. She's going to say, "Can I interest you in any other weapons? It looks like you've worked some silver into this, but," and she's going to kind of poke at it, and wave a hand over it. She's like, "Doesn't seem magic."
No, I have not magicked it in my travels so far. Is that something that you possibly offer?
No, I just mean that usually when we see, she kind of brings her hands up and down, sizing you and anyone who came with you up. Adventurers such as yourselves, they have such interesting pieces. This one is, well, it almost seems like an heirloom, which is not unheard of, but becoming less common, it seems.
No, it just has been with me on my travels since the very beginning. Although not magicked, it has served me well this whole time until finally it finally broke a little bit. But I don't want to get rid of it. I just hope to return it to how it is. My old friend.
I think we can do that and better for you. But along, as I've been running the shop, there have been people who have put down the weapons, let's say. And we've been able to pick them up. So if there was an interest that you had in looking for something magical, I've got some knives, maybe a scimitar or a short sword that might have an interesting magical effect. She's going to pause and look down at the axe. No axes, I'm afraid. But I would consider the 4 or 5 weapons I have with their enchantments to be quite impressive, given the state of the world. You have a good look about you, or I wouldn't tell you.
No. What kind of enchantment?
She's going to... You'll see that she kind of thinks about it for a moment. She says, "I have a dagger that, when given a magic word, bursts into flame. Doesn't hurt the user. But the magical fire is useful against all sorts of petty monster you might find outside the walls of a city. The short sword... I'd have to check my note on that. It was some thieves' weapon. Anyway, they'd be understandably expensive, but if you've got the coin, I would part with them for you.
I appreciate the offer, but I think I will stick to my trusty axe for the time being.
Fair enough, sir. It is a good-looking weapon, and we'll have it looking even better in the morning. Think about it. Tell your friends if they've got some platinum on them, then maybe we can strike a deal.
Very well. I will see you tomorrow morning.
A good night to you, sir.
Good night. And Raiken will leave the shop
Oh,
without
before
his
you go,
axe.
take this. She's going to quickly run
Oh.
over to you at the door and hand you a small slip of parchment that has a number written on it.
Oh. I'm guessing for a ticket to pick up my axe.
Yes, that's your claim check. You'll need that.
Ah, thank you. Yes, don't want to leave that.
That was my mistake, nearly forgetting to give it to you. Anyway, a good night to you, sir.
Good night.
Would anyone else have come with Raiken?
I think I would have.
Okay. Do you want to ask any questions to the person running this smithy?
No, guys, I'm just looking.
Okay.
There's
There's
anything interesting.
Yeah, I mean, all of it's interesting. As you can see here, there are racks of weapons, including short-handled axes, long-handled axes, large war hammers, spears, swords, and then sets of armor behind you that are leather, half plate, full plate. They seem to have built themselves a stockpile to sell, or at least to advertise that they can sell, since, as you know, a lot of armor requires custom fitting, though perhaps they would just rework what they have into what they would need.
I will ask what here is magical, and in what way.
She's going to peer over as she returns to the desk. She's going to get back on her stool so that she can see over it, and she looks at you, and you can kind of see a little bit of amusement in her eyes as she looks around. She says, "Out here? Oh, nothing. None of this is magical. We wouldn't. You know how valuable magical stuff is. I assume you do. We wouldn't want that to get stolen. No, we keep that away. We arrange the sales first. If we trust the buyer well enough, we might arrange a meeting where they can see the item in question, feel it if they need to, and then agree on a price for the sale. None of that happens here because that's quite risky."
Makes sense.
But as I told your friend, he seems a trustworthy-looking sort, and I thought perhaps I'd do him a good turn and offer him the opportunity to look at those wares. Is there something that you'd be interested in? Are you looking for a weapon? I might have a pair of boots. Yeah. I do. I have a pair of boots that'll never wear out, never needs resoling, can't be damaged by anything you might walk on.
Good old +0 boots.
I didn't say it.
All
Anything
sales
else?
going to.
Well, the dagger that I described, the short sword, that was, as I said, I'm hesitant about that one because I know it had some sneaky properties to it. It was primarily daggers. There was a long sword that would light up brilliantly. great for fighting at night. It was a guard's weapon.
I'm really not much of a sword guy. Not really.
I suppose you don't look quite the type. She is kind of looking over your attire and any weapon you might be carrying. I suspect that you have your 6-foot staff in hand.
Yeah, I'm trying to see... and a scimitar.
Yes, the scimitar hanging at your belt. Well, no, I believe that was the scimitar, yes. She's gonna rummage behind the desk a moment. She's gonna come up with a piece of parchment, and she kind of squints at, goes and looks for another one, and says, I believe the scimitar... okay. Yes, it was a thrower. It would return to the hand when thrown. It struck true, and it had a frosted blade. Ice. Magical ice.
Any support items?
Support items. Like a bag? Like a harness? What do you mean by support? What do you want to support?
I mean...
Do you need a girdle?
Not a weapon. Like, not a dagger or a sword or an axe. But... a magic item that you could use to do something else. I can't think of anything specific.
I mean, I know that some people have found magical armors. Some people wear enchanted pendants or necklaces. Is that the kind of thing you're talking about? Because maybe a jeweler would have that, but people tend to only sell me weapons, because that is what I sell. Armors from time to time, like the boots, kind of count. But I tend toward metal for making war.
That's fair.
I also... She's gonna kind of like... You know, kind of wince a little, like she doesn't want to say it. You know, it's bad news. She's like, I think you'll have a hard time finding something like that. Those little trinkets that you're talking about, like magic rings that make the wearer invisible, stuff like that. People don't tend to let go of those. They pass them down the family. Or they get lost.
Well, they are very small.
They are. Magic items are so very rare. I'm impressed we have as many as we do, but I think that's just because, we have a bit of tourism, at least, between Tuca and Thanandir. We are uniquely positioned, to entice people to come and share what they have. A lot of people retire here, too. By people, I mean, a lot of adventurers. They like it. It's quiet in the woods, away from the battles of their youth. You seem to still be in yours. So I don't suspect you'll be selling me any of whatever fancy magic you have.
No, I'm still using it.
What about you, big guy?
No, I also am not ready to part with anything.
That's fine. It's very difficult to find a buyer for such things anyway. I mean, except for people like yourselves, people don't tend to have the kind of money that goes into these things. I mean, we're talking hundreds of pieces of platinum at times.
Indeed.
But I'd be willing to pay you well if there was something you wanted to part with. We do good business here. If I think I can make a profit off it. Let me caveat that statement. If you've got something you don't need, show it to me, and I'll make you an offer.
I will keep that in mind for the next time I'm here.
Good to hear, handsome. All right. Well then. I'm sorry that I couldn't help you with anything, sir. If you want a sword or a dagger or some armor to replace that leather jerkin you're wearing, just let me know. I'd be happy to set you up with something.
I think I'm good to go.
Very good. Well, thank you both for your business today. And we'll see you, she says, pointing at Raiken, in the morning.
Yes. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, sir. You as well.
Then I'm guessing they leave then.
Very good. Was there anything further, Jebel, just in case?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. And nobody else wanted to go to the smith?
No.
My current information.
Not from the current information?
Like, Derek has an interest in going, but Cyrus just don't know about the possibility of magical items for sale.
Whee. You know, when I was making it, it seemed so big, and now that I'm down here, I'm like, man, like fucking tiny.
Looks big to me.
Looks big to me.
Big leg. Whoops, I don't want all of you.
Yeah.
Well, that's what she said.
When you get finished with things in Tailspire, they always feel smaller because it took so much time to make as much as you did.
Yeah. Let's quickly see if we have turtles in here. At least. We got
Turtle.
gators. Huh?
So there better be a turtle in Tailspire.
Well,
If they know it's good for them.
There's one of these.
It's basically a turtle.
Yeah, no, I think that works for us just fine. Hang, give me a second. What was your turtle called?
Laramidas had asked about molasses.
Molasses. Alrighty. What's your color there? Yellow?
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see. What should her turtle be called? Audience?
I stopped looking at turtle names when I saw molasses.
What was that, Raiken?
Nah, I haven't said anything.
Oh.
I was trying to think.
Anything. Somebody give me a name.
Chomper.
Chomper. That's not a bad one. What you got?
Senior Slick.
Senior Slick. That's a fun one.
What was the name
like
of the
that a
horse?
lot.
Why do you name everything like you like crazy cat lady?
Thomas.
What was the name of the horse? Farfik Newton?
Farfignugan. There was that was from
Sparkplug.
Animaniacs.
Sparkplug.
Sparkplug? No, it's not going to be Sparkplug.
That was Mr. Google's horse. Why can't I remember his first name?
I'm going to go with Farfignugan. That's a good one. color
The
this.
German word for driving pleasure.
It's Farfignugan.
Apparently.
That makes sense to me. Damn tools.
Barney Google.
Make unique.
Because in Robin Hood Men in Tights, Broomhilda's horse was named Farfignugan.
Nice. Tools. Make unique. So now, I think what I should be able to do is possibly, some for just a second, molasses. Right click. Yes. See if that works.
Yes.
That calls you Snapper Giant instead of.
I have one thing. Oh, actually, never mind. I had an idea and then immediately had a reason as to why it would not work.
Yeah, it didn't work. But it should still morph properly. Right? No, he's still named Molasses. Why is he still named Molasses? I can't give the different morphs different names.
Yeah, no. That's why I'm still named Gold Dragon Cyrus.
Gotcha. Well, that's useful, though, because I need to know when and if you stop being the Gold Dragon. Alright, well, that's sad. Oops, not what I wanted. Anyway, add a morph over here.
Are these the giant snapping turtles?
In this case, yeah. Oh, are you going to learn them, add them to your morphs?
Well, basically, if I can see them, I can turn into them.
Yep, that's correct. Are you able to do it, or do I need to do it?
You have
I
to
don't
do
need
it.
to.
As far as it needs morphs go.
More was wondering just if that was the step block for future reference.
What's the size of a giant snapping turtle?
Large.
Large. I'm trying to decide if they're bigger than that or not, but I think large is fine because it's the size of a horse, so yeah. Yeah, giant snapping turtle. That seems like a reasonable stat block to use. Alright, well...
The turtle's the size of horses? Big turtles.
Yep. Okay, that's
I mean,
weird.
there are sea turtles that big, but tortoises? Well,
Okay.
this is not a turtles, I guess, so it is turtles.
So... All of you are brought down to the lake at the south end of the city, past the growing fields, past all the houses. The forest obviously still grows out this way, but you don't see as many tree houses here, except for some more maybe fancy-looking ones, you know, more opulent, if you will, lakeside property. And you're going to see several very large turtles, like, milling about here. Just seemingly in their natural habitat.
It'd take us to get over here from... Where were we? Did we all...
Yeah, you were at the palace, as it were. And it's a largish city, so, you know, it would have taken you half an hour or more to walk here. Perhaps.
Was it... Who went to the, Smith?
It seems to have just been you and Raiken. Would you have just, like, stayed at the Smith or gone back to the palace and not come to the race?
I was going to come to the race. I was just wondering, when we split up, did everyone else go over here? Straight away?
No. That was a bit of time to mill about. It was just, that was the one thing I knew needed to happen. It's fair to say, was there other things? She's holding a couple of things hostage behind this race, like, you're free to roam town, but you don't have access to the Mages Guild or her mage until...
No, it's not that. It's, I was wondering, did we meet back up after the smith, and then all come here as a group? Or
That
did the rest of the group come straight here?
No, the idea would be
That's what
that
I'm wondering.
you meet up. Sorry, I just kind of shortcut that. But yes, it would have been that. You meet up and then come here.
Could I tell that Laramendus was not confident?
Absolutely.
Then I would have given him a couple of tips on how to work with animals.
Okay.
Okay, alright. Then, for the purposes of this race, you may add your proficiency bonus to your animal handling rolls.
Excellent.
I would say Jebel's proficiency bonus if that meant anything, but you're all got the same one, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But mine is somehow better.
And so you see these turtles all milling about here, and there are a couple people who seem to be caring for them, feeding them, watching over them, but they're mostly left to their own devices. And Gebrel is going to march right up to one of them and offer it some food and pets and begin speaking to it. And then you're going to see her climb onto its back and direct it to the water.
And I'll point and I'll say, that's the kind of thing you want to do.
She's going to watch you approaching Molasses. You can recognize Molasses easily. You know this turtle well.
Molasses is a good turtle.
And she's going to kind of lean back so that she's away from the head of the turtle as much as possible, and she's going to hold out a hand which contains some feed, as she clearly assumes you wouldn't have any with you.
Yeah, I think that Laramendus does not have, did not have any on him. So he will thank her and then approach Molasses.
What you have before you all is a fairly long, straight lake. It does look natural, but you can also see that there are stakes sticking out of the water in two straight rows down the length of it, and you realize that somebody has placed these stakes specifically to mark out the bounds of the racetrack, that this is a common practice here. So, I want you to roll up your animal handling there, Laramendus.
Okay, let's see how this goes.
You get to pretend to be trained in it for, the next hour.
Hey, that's enough. I think because this is the first one and Laramendus really likes Molasses, like we go way back, him and I. I think I'm gonna use my inspiration. Starting off strong with a 7 on die. Let's see what the green.
It can only go up from here unless it goes down.
So it went up. It's now an 8 on die.
Okay, all right.
I think that happened on Saturday. Exact same numbers.
You got an 8, Sam.
I got a 7 and an 8 on an attack roll with advantage.
You want how much you want to win this race? You guys is gonna cheer. You want some more inspiration?
I think I shouldn't spend any more things on this roll. But so that first thing was efficiency plus 6, so that's a 14.
A 14. All right. You don't lose any fingers. Molasses is going to smell the feed in your hand, and as you're trying to emulate what Gebrel did, where, she approached it, put a hand on it, talked to it, and then gave it the food, it's going to seemingly ignore your initial approach and just go straight for the hand that has food in it. And you're going to get bumped bodily by the hard and pokey shell as it tries to get at the food in your hand. So I would like you to take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, let's see. Do I still have anything? I do still have shield. So.
Very well. Your shield protects
you. My arcane ward is still up.
Your shield protects.
I think Laramendus, as he approached, he started to it's been a long time, and then started to almost begin to launch into a lecture on aquadynamics.
So after that initial, you needed to use your shield to protect yourself from getting hurt here. The creature is going to get at the feed in your hand, and you're going to be able to get a hand on top of its head, and kind of as it munches the food out of your hand, and you're careful not to get bit by its beak. You're going to get a sense of calm on the beast and feel like you can pull yourself up in much the way Gebrel did. So you make a dexterity skill check, and so that, just as a heads up, this is how I'm going to be announcing it. I'm going to tell you what the attribute, the ability to use is, and then if you have a skill in that ability that makes sense, you'll roll that. Otherwise, you'll just roll the ability.
I think that makes sense. I have no proficiency in a skill that makes sense for that, so just we'll do straight dex.
Okay.
That is a 9.
Nice.
I rolled a 6 again. Starting strong, but I'm getting it's all. I'm
getting all the low ones out before the race starts. That's important. Yeah. Okay.
No, really, I'm lulling the Daikon into a false sense of security.
You're definitely lulling the party into a sense of something. Party, you are going to see that, after a moment, you're going to see that red flash of the arcane ward protecting Laramendus from something happening over there. You're then going to see him kind of get control over Molasses and begin talking quietly to him. And then you're going to see him place his hand on top of on one of the ridges of the shell and kind of try to swing his leg up and just falls over. Just face in the sand, just hits the ground, springs up, tries to laugh it off, and then struggles his way onto the thing, just working. He's got a good sheen of sweat by the time he gets up onto the shell.
He just dusts off his hands and is I'm not as young as I used to be, but now I'm in my element.
This is going great already.
Are we grouped just us, or are there other people around us?
There are other people. There were people enjoying the lake. So you see them swimming as they see people interfacing with the turtles and moving them toward, what you can imagine as a starting line. You will see them at least move out of the lane, even if they stay in the water. And
by us,
yeah,
maybe a couple of feet from us.
Yeah. So mostly the people that would be close to you are the Daikon's entourage, the people that work in the palace for her.
Well, when Laramendus puts on this show, Joe will just say, he's more of an intellectual type, really. He is good at magic.
You can see when Laramendus was getting ready to get up on the, you saw him pause for a moment and look directly where he needed to be, and you can tell he was thinking about Misty stepping. But then it dawned on him, maybe teleporting on top of the animal isn't the best way to do things.
The wood elf you're speaking to, Gebrel, is going to look down at you with a kind of bemused expression on their face. That's going to turn into a little bit of shock almost, and he's going to look down and then look back up at the turtle and then look back to you and say, "Well, isn't that Laramendus?"
Yeah.
Daikon Gebrel is always talking about how she has the best races with him. He always gives her a run for her money.
Are we talking about the same Laramendus?
Is there more than one?
Didn't know
Who
he was
can tell?
capable of physical things.
Maybe once he gets settled, he's better.
I suppose it has been a few decades since he's been around to race.
Well, he is smart. Maybe he's playing mind games.
That could be it. Well, this will prove to be an interesting race. So, the way I'm going to run this Laramendus is that each round of the race, we're going to roll all of the abilities. Roll one die for each ability. You can use a skill if you believe that you have an applicable one, as I described. And what's going to happen is whoever wins, these are all contested rolls between you and her, to make this as even a thing as possible, and to show how the race really is testing everything about you. Your constitution for endurance to stay up there, strength to have a good grip and control the turtle, dexterity to be able to maneuver the turtle well, and choose the path well. Charisma, all the mental skills are to indicate planning and communication with the turtle, and choosing how you want to go about this. The party is going to be able to make rolls to give you advantage on ones. So, if half or more of them can roll above a 10 on a d20, then you'll get to have advantage on one of them of your choice.
Okay.
And so, right. So each one is a contested roll. The winner gets a point, and then we take all those points at the end to whoever got them individually, and that indicates the number of squares forward that we will move the tokens until you hit the other end of the lake.
Okay.
I was trying to think of a way to make it interesting, to make it involve rolls, because that's what the D&D system gives me, and to still kind of board game it a little bit, and that's what I came up with.
I think that'll be fun.
You can also cast spells if you desire.
This is going to be a useful one. I will say I have 3 first level spell slots, 3 second level spell slots, and a 9th level spell slot. That's what Larendis is working with.
Yes.
So all you have to do is cast teleport on you and it, and you go over there and you win.
I just touch the turtle and cast Dimension Door.
So, to finish my statement, you may cast spells to affect the other person to give them disadvantage on rolls.
Dimension Door her back to the start once you're almost done.
I would need to touch that.
And
But the best one for that is cast Bigby's Hand. And then just have it bat the turtle down. Which is an asshole thing to do.
So,
just force cage.
Because this is a board gamed, there is not teleportation, and there is not holding them in place. Yeah. Your spells you cast are going to be taken from your resources, and whatever you choose is going to give them disadvantage or give yourself advantage on a roll.
Yeah.
Each roll is 1 square of movement if you win that contest. Okay?
Sounds good.
Those are the rules as far as I came up with. Hopefully that's
Reminds
fun.
me of the first session.
Yeah, I'm always trying to do something that kind of gets people rolling. So,
I can't believe none of you did the greased pig thing. Disappointed.
Who got hit in the face with the log?
So, cheering section. When I ask for the cheering section, each of you is going to roll a d20 and then enter it into, let's say, into Discord. What the result of that d20 is. Okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
She has her own cheering section, obviously, so you're kind of also fighting them.
During her cheering section.
Cheerleader fights.
You're trying to out-cheer her cheering section.
They get to the end, they look back, and we're just in a brawl.
That would be a way for the night to go, wouldn't it? Okay, I have my
Things
little...
take a turn for the worse, and suddenly we're just surrounded by crabs.
I have my thing. So, the an elf is going to float over on another turtle, on a third turtle, and they're going to make sure that you two line up, and they're going to give you the on your mark, get set, go, and she's going to wave both her hands, and so I want a one ability score roll. If you have a skill for it, Laramendis, give me that. We'll start the cheering section in round 2 so that we can get this first one out of the way. So, strength. Do you have an ability that you think would help? I believe the only one is athletics.
I do not.
Okay. It would help, though.
Yeah, it would absolutely help.
If only
Again, I'm not a young man anymore.
All right. So, what is your strength roll? Oh, she is starting strong.
Oh, that's unfortunate for me, because my strength roll is a, for me, a 13 is not terrible.
Okay. Dexterity.
My dex bonus is higher than my strength,
Okay.
so that's going to put me at a 9.
A 9. Things are going well.
Yeah, no, everything's coming up Laramendis.
All right. Show me Constitution.
Constitution?
Leah?
Well, if there's one thing Laramendis is good at, it's Arcana. But if there's two things, that went off the floor. That is a 4.
He's falling apart.
He's already falling apart.
Maybe change style.
Day, okay?
It's just his mind games. He's just playing mind games.
Doesn't
No,
want to power up.
Yeah,
Hold on.
a good tactic is save your strength at the beginning and then do all towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
no,
can work.
I'm slow and steady. I'm playing the long game,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
I mean that's how the turtle did win.
Yeah. Here's one you should win, right? This is intelligence. What's your?
Okay.
You got a skill you want to add to it?
I mean, can I use nature?
Yes.
Okay. I roll a. That is a 26.
26. All right. Wisdom.
Wisdom. Can I do insight?
Yes.
Okay. Because I feel like gauging Gebrel, like what she is planning on doing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That is a 10.
Okay.
I rolled a 4.
Charisma.
Can I roll performance? Because I'm playing this off.
I'll allow it.
That is a 16.
16. All right.
I rolled a 10 that time.
So everyone certainly believes you're doing this on purpose.
Yeah, at least some people in the audience.
It's all part of a plan.
Yeah, no, again, just
Not his.
everything about Laramendis is mind games.
His.
It's all part of a plan, just not Laramendis's, yeah.
Okay. So, things starting off the line, now looking super great. Like, you guys are watching this going on, and Gebrel, she's in her element. She knows this turtle well. She's been out racing this for a long time. Laramentis seemed a little startled by the when Molasses started moving. It's been a while since he's been here. He's putting on a good show. He almost looks like he knows what he's doing, but you can see that performance cracking at the edges here. Just, Gebrel has a charisma that is untouchable at this. She's a born leader.
The last time Laramentis was on a mount was one of the fucked up horses.
Yep.
Very different than a turtle.
Yeah, especially because they're magical constructs that do exactly what you want. This is an actual wild animal. The turtle, Molasses here, seems a little, seems to know that Laramentis is a little green behind the gills here. Yes, they're born. So, she won 4 of the contests. You won 2 of them. She outshone you in strength, constitution, wisdom, and charisma.
Yeah.
All right.
When do we cheer? Just
Right now.
Anytime, or?
No, right now. Now I was about to ask for that, so thank you.
Oh, okay.
So, cheering squad, cheering section. All of you, please.
After that performance?
Roll a d20 and put it into Snark.
Oh, God.
Let's go. Yay.
Raiken,
Leah's heart, isn't it?
in final form already.
Oh my. Then Raiken is just busy with something else. If he had smartphones, we would be looking at him.
I feel like that's fair, you know? All those rolls are fair.
Oh, I forgot. Were there any anything to add to it, or is it just plain D20?
It's just a plain d20 here.
Okay. Yeah.
Good gosh, the 1.
I told you, he's in final form already.
Raiken just accidentally cheered up the turtle.
Yeah, I think that there's a moment where Raiken sees Gebrel do something particularly impressive, and elbows one of her people and is like, I saw that, pointing very clearly at her, very excited and impressed kind of thing.
We're like, aren't you supposed to be rooting for Lara Bendis? Ah.
Okay. So... given that the totals are 35 versus 29 in Gebrel's favor, her cheering section is loud and noticeable, even though it seems to be smaller in number than your group just isn't really bringing it yet. They're kind of phoning it in. Oh, hold on. Did we have we missed one.
Yeah, you missed one.
Oh, sheesh. We missed one. Never
Yukikaze
mind.
almost forgot to cheer.
I lied. Yukikaze suddenly adds his voice, and now they're belting it out.
It's Yukikaze, the loud one.
Alright. So, because she had one above 10, she'll get to add 1 advantage to her set of rolls. Because your team won, but nobody got above 10, you will get to also add just 1 advantage.
Okay.
To the roll of your choice. Spells. Are you going to spend a spell slot to try and give her disadvantage on something?
I think not. Mostly because I don't think I have any spells that I could reasonably make a case for.
Okay. I mean, you can always just roll an attack to try and give her disadvantage to one of the physical ones. But you do know from dealing with her and from watching her do this, she's very strong in charisma.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to angle that way, it would be reasonable. But you also don't have to.
Yeah, I think that Laramendus wouldn't want to do an attack. I think he would see that as not sporting. Like other kinds of spells, he would probably be perfectly happy to use, which puts him at a disadvantage for today after having spent everything and not prepared. We're not known like today's the day. He asked for tomorrow.
Nope. She is going to spend a spell. She is going to cast Darkness to give you disadvantage on your Wisdom roll.
Okay.
Now, you can cancel that if you wanted to with your advantage, or you can give advantage to something else. That's totally up to you, but she is targeting your Wisdom roll with a disadvantage. Alright. Round 2!
Okay.
Give me the Strength.
Okay, Strength. I think he's going to roll Strength flat because he feels like he's likely going to lose out on that anyway. So it's not worth giving the advantage to.
Sounds good.
So that'll be a 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alright. She's still going strong, as it were. Give me your Dexterity.
I think this is the one that he's going to use advantage on. Which puts me at a 16.
A 16. Very nice.
I rolled a 5 and a 13.
Hey.
Because again, just...
You definitely, the crowd, you definitely see that Laramendus seems to be kind of getting his sea legs under him again and is maneuvering well. Much better this round. Constitution.
Okay. Con will be a 17.
17. Very nice. Before, he looked like he might lose his grip and just fall into the water at any moment. Looking much better this time. Oopsie. Intelligence. She's going to be using her advantage on intelligence.
Oh, that's just rude.
I just had a die vanish on me.
Any chance you'll let me roll history?
Let me think about that. Understanding the history of races, you might be able to emulate a previous strong competitor. Sure.
And also remember, because he has done this before. I think he was better in his younger years when he was doing this before.
Think about how he used to do it.
Remembering what just how things really went and remembering the terrain kind of stuff. Okay. And you. Okay. I'm because she didn't give me disadvantage on this one. She gave me disadvantage on wisdom. So. For history, that is a 26.
Very nice. Okay, wisdom time.
Okay, let's do this. 2 20s. It's gonna happen. That's not 2 20s.
Okay.
That's a 4 and a 5. So, if I could have been rolling perception, that would be a 10. Which I think makes sense for, darkness.
You got a 10 on wisdom with perception?
Yes.
Okay. Very nice. And finally, charisma.
Okay. Charisma. That is... Are we intending to find different skills that might, or at least not 2 in the same, 2 in a row kind of thing?
I don't mind if you use two in a row.
Okay, then I think he'll be sticking with performance.
Sure.
Which would put him at.
You're putting on.
18.
You are constantly putting on an act to keep this turtle listening to you.
Come on, molasses, you and me, just like before. Just remember what it was like 60 years ago.
All right, what do you got?
That is an 18 because 12 on die. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Should have done that earlier. Can't do it now. So, now that the turtles are off the starting line and, past the shallows, their feet are no longer clawing into the sand. They are swimming, kicking their legs. These things suddenly take off like motorboats, guys. They are fast swimmers, even with a rider and not being under the water. It is impressive how fast these things can move, and Laramendis absolutely destroyed this round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excuse me.
Shit.
5. Hold on. Yeah. To her 1.
Damn. I think as Laramendis comes out of the darkness, and I think at that point is when he pulls ahead, he's gonna turn and smile.
She was 2 ahead of you. And then you did better by 4, so now you should be 2 ahead of her. No, 3 ahead of her. Yeah, she's here.
Eyes ahead. It's a very quick glance over kind of thing as we're passing, as I'm passing it, and then he does turn forward again. He's just not gonna continue, just keep an eye on her as this basically just trusting Molest.
Yeah, okay, that seems correct. Yeah. You, as you pass her by, she at first looks surprised as you start to sail by, coming out of the darkness and maneuvering around her to follow the path of the track as it's laid out. And she at first looks surprised, and then you kind of see this familiar smile on her face, like enjoying a TV show one used to watch. Okay, cheering section. Roll them up.
Permission to mess with the other cheering section.
Permission to mess with the other cheering section. Tell me how you're going to do that.
Well, as my most recent class feature, I can exude an aura that either makes creatures within 60 feet charmed or afraid. So I was thinking I'd make them distracted by making them interested in me. Charmed.
A crit.
Okay.
I got a crit.
I will allow that for this round. We will give the other cheering section all disadvantage this round.
Yep, and they'll be immune once they make the save, so it makes perfect sense for not to keep working.
Yeah, rather than doing a bunch of rolls for saves and such, I'm just having it be for one round.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really do wish I knew where that other die went. Alright.
My temptation to true polymorph for turtle, when we're nearing the end, just for a second, to throw her off her game kind of thing, is very high.
Mm-hmm.
Turn her from a giant snapping turtle to a small regular turtle.
Just in it, so she falls a bit and then turn it back, so she nothing more than just that moment of what the shit.
Well, you canceled a crit.
Oh, we had 2 crits.
All right. Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's a 19 versus, what have we got here? 16, 36, 40, 60, 74. And seeing as everybody got above 10 this time, and there's 5 of you, Laramentis, you get to have advantage on every check this round.
Excellent.
You get 6 uses of advantage. And she gets none.
I forgot to put my number in. I also rolled well.
Well, we can't really do better, but go hustle.
There. You may have elven accuracy on 1 roll.
Ooh. I think that one he might do strength for, just because with 3d20 pick the highest, he has enough odds of just rolling flat well. But...
All right, strength.
Okay, I think he is going to use the elven accuracy on this one. Is she casting anything to give me disadvantage on something?
She is going to cast a magic missile, which is going to give you disadvantage on Constitution.
Okay.
As you
Strength
get
is
tossed about.
16.
16. All right, dexterity.
That was a 3, an 8, and a 17.
Sounds like elven accuracy was exactly what you needed.
I think it was perfect.
Dexterity.
That is a crit, so a 23.
Okay. I think we know who's taking this
14?
round. Constitution.
Okay, this one canceled out my advantage, right?
Yes, she gave you disadvantage on Constitution because the magic missile hits all around your turtle and tosses you around in the water, trying to throw you off.
That's why she fed us so well just before this.
Yep. She wanted to make you throw up.
That is an 18.
An 18, wow. Okay, Laramentis is determined. Intelligence.
Okay. This one's just not fair. I'm gonna roll 2 1s though, I swear. That is not 2 1s. That is a 2 and a 10 now. So for sticking with history, since it's the highest one that has any kind of potential making sense, because I don't think Arcana enters into turtle racing.
Nope. This is all natural, buddy.
That will be a 24.
24. Okay. Wisdom.
The cheering squad is really coming in clutch here. That is a 7 and a 16, so that would be 22.
22. She's just getting blown out of the water this round. Charisma.
That was almost a crit, and then it moved. So this one, I think she's going to win, because that was a 3 and an 8, so that is 14.
14. Yep. This is the second time she's rolled a 19 on charisma.
God damn.
Yeah. She really
I feel
likes...
like I wouldn't beat her even if I rolled a 20.
Out of 19, she gets a 22.
Okay. She doesn't have... I guess I guess persuasion is probably her best charisma one, and that's probably not.
I've just been using her ability score bonuses. I guess I should be giving her maybe thinking about her skills and where she have proficiency.
Yeah, I feel like she should have some proficiencies that'll be helping her. I could see persuasion, persuading the turtle. I could see giving her animal handling because she's done this a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
For wisdom.
There we go. All right. The cheering section has really picked up its game, and her cheering section seems to have died down a lot all of a sudden. Really weird and inexplicable, honestly. All right, so you move ahead 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She gets 1. She really just seems to be floundering a lot right now, and the way you're overcoming everything she's throwing in her way. She's getting in her own way here more than anything, it seems. Okay. Cheering section. Huh?
What was the name of Laramantis' turtle again?
Molasses.
Molasses?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, because it kind of sounds like something bad.
Molasses is a foodstuff in America.
It's a really thick syrup.
That does not move fast.
It moves really slow.
Yeah. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Unless it's under extremely high pressure and just released from that pressure and flooding a city.
The great molasses flood.
Yeah.
Okay, so rolling cheering again.
Yes, cheering section. Roll your d20s. We've got 2 of them, 3 of them.
Not as great this time, but
37, 40, 52, 62, 69. Nice.
Nice.
Giggity.
Alright, so Laramendis, you get 1 advantage for winning, and then 1, 2, 3 advantages for them getting above 10, so you get 4 total advantages out of 6 rolls this time. Alright, so you get 4, she's getting 2. 2 advantages. She's going to focus on the race system, and she's not going to cast, hoping that's going to make things better for her. So, round 4, any magic casting?
I'm trying to think. So she magic missiled.
She did.
Which
she targeted the water around you to make it a rougher ride.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if Laramendis would want to just attempt to win this with like the Archmage level wizard deciding I'm gonna win this physical contest without magic.
Could be. She is foregoing magic this round.
I think he's not going to cast anything. I think he's intending to use his advantage on dexterity, constitution, wisdom, and I think strength.
All right.
So skipping out on intelligence and charisma.
Okay. Sounds good. Roll up strength.
Okay. That, I mean, the advantage definitely helped technically, like numerically. Mm-hmm. That's a 9. It's a 3 and a 10.
Nice. All right. Dexterity.
Okay. Dexterity will be 2 11s. So that is 14.
14. All right. Constitution.
Okay, Constitution. These 2 dice. That is a 7 and a 20, so 22. Did she roll a 1?
She nat 20'd. So you
Oh, she nat
both
20'd,
you
okay.
both nat 20'd?
Excellent. Well, no, because it's an ability check, so you know, like.
No, I know, but
one of us won. No, I'm saying that because he said roll again.
yeah, her constitution isn't as high as yours, so she only got a 21.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, intelligence.
Go being an adventurer. Intelligence.
She's got high stats for a non-adventurer, but they're not adventurer
Yeah.
level stats.
That is a 24 again, because I roll so many fucking 10s.
She failed me on this roll. Wisdom.
Wisdom. That is a 3 and an 18.
Jeez.
So that will be a. Actually, I think I'm going to switch to be rolling animal handling
Okay.
for this
Makes
because
sense.
of Gebrel.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes
Makes a lot more sense.
for Laramendus, yeah.
Yeah.
So that it's the same because it's the proficiency.
I understand. But you're now talking to the animal as you do it.
24.
24 again. Nice. And charisma.
Okay. Charisma was flat because I'm confident I'm gonna fail it anyway.
Well, maybe
That
not.
is, I'm pretty sure I got an 8.
Okay, so maybe.
I rolled a 2.
Alright, 8. Alright, let's see here. Boop. And, excuse me, boop. 22 versus that boop. 24 versus that boop. 24 versus that boop. And boop. She got boop, 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 bap. Okay.
Laramendus is getting overconfident at this point. And, like, he knows, like, intellectually that he shouldn't. The race is still very early.
Yeah.
But, like, the wind in his face, molasses beneath him.
1, 2, 3, 4. The gap is widening. She hasn't been doing well. Goodness.
It's the cheering squad, really. Having advantage is just so powerful numerically.
It is. Well, that's okay. Everybody should be having fun, and I think they are. I think this was good. I am pleased. Wait just a second. I have to just update my spreadsheet here. Just in case. Alright, cheering section. Give me your rolls.
Being real helpful.
You didn't realize what?
I'm being real helpful this time. Give a whole 4.
It's okay, we traded places.
It's a group effort, you know? I feel like Gebrel and whoever rolled a 1, like, are talking to each other about turtles.
There's definitely some sidebar conversation. There's some shouting match going on. There's some, offers to get drinks later, probably.
Just Gebrel shouting at, like, the turtle hostler. For, just doing something wrong.
Alright, so let's see here. 4, 22, 36, 37, 49, 7. Alright, so that's going to be 56. Alright, so you get the point on that, Laramendus. You also get 1, 2, 3. So once again, you have 4 advantages, and she has 2.
I think he's going to do the same thing, skipping out on intelligence and charisma.
Okay.
Strength is a 14.
Let's see here. Strength. is a 14, you say? Hers is... Yeah, what has happened? There we go. Okay, dexterity.
Dex is a 18. It's a 4 and a 15.
Damn. Beat her by 1.
Sweet.
Con?
Con is a 14. A 2 and a 12.
Beat her by 1 again. Intelligence.
Okay. Oh wait, I do not have advantage on that one, so I should not roll 2 dice. That is a 25.
25.
Got an 11. Moving up in the world.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. That is an 18. 6 and a 12.
Okay. Charisma.
That is an 8. Oh wait, no, I'm using performance for that, so that is a 14.
14. Okay. This was such a sad round for her. She lost strength by 3, dexterity by 1, constitution by 1, intelligence by 10. But she won the last 2.
Nice. One of these rounds, she's gonna beat me in intelligence.
It's gonna be a surprise.
I'm gonna roll like a 1.
Alrighty. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. The gap continues to widen. Cheering section, give me your rolls. 17, 13, 30, 48, 67, 74. Okay. Lara Mendes. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 5 advantages. She gets 2.
Okay. All but intelligence, because he is extremely confident in that.
Yeah.
My strength is bad. Oh, was she casting any spells on me?
No, she's really trying to focus on the race, and you're getting far away.
Yeah, I have used prestidigitation to create some pom-poms, and I'm like going all in.
Actually. And she do. Yeah. She actually will. She's mean. The way this'll work, I think, is she's going to pull out a spell scroll.
Okay.
And she's going to power word stun.
Whoa.
Oh shit.
Which will give you disadvantage on intelligence.
Okay.
Again,
am I allowed to interfere? Can I counter spell?
No. This is each portion. There is a thing going on, so this is their thing. They get to mess with it. This is just them choosing whether or not to mess with each other and how. And the caveat here is, like, even though she might be casting a powerful spell, like any power, like Finger of Death, it's still just going to be disadvantage on a roll. It's just the expenditure of resources is the thing. Like, because you could say, oh yeah, it's power word stun. That's disadvantage on everything. Like,
Yeah, it's like, oh, you lose the race, and it's like, okay, sure, I true polymorph.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm reducing all of the effects to. It's just a flashy way of saying this is how she's targeting that ability.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not like she power word stun your turtle, it sinks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is just adding magic back in a way that still upholds the rules of the game and makes it, kind of evenish. So you got disadvantage on that intelligence roll you're so confident about.
That's fair.
She rolled good strength.
I did not. I got 6.
Nice. All right, dexterity. It would be good if I put those in the right boxes.
Is also bad. That's a 12.
Oh, okay. Maybe this is when she rallies.
I think Laramendis is, like, just shocked about the expenditure of a power word stun spell scroll. Because he knows how expensive those are to make.
Yeah.
I imagine Raiken and Leah starts booing.
Constitution.
It would be helpful if I rolled in the thing. That it would be helpful if that die rolled higher. Well, that's a 17 because the other die was a 15.
A 17
for
Constitution.
The one that landed in the tray first. It was being obedient.
Intelligence. Or remember, you have disadvantage on.
So you canceled out a fucking crit. But unfortunately for her, the other roll was an 18.
God damn it. Oh man, she's not allowed to win.
So that's a 32.
Fuck. She rolled so well too. I'm like, she's got this. He's gonna do stupid. He's gonna get a single digit number. It's gonna be great.
An 18 and a 20. On the only thing that I have a horrifying bonus in.
Sheesh. Okay. Wisdom.
That is a dirty 20.
Nice. And charisma. Charisma?
That
Whee!
is a 24.
24.
18 and a 6, I think. Yes.
Okay. 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 Okay, okay. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Alright. She rallies a bit. Laramendis moves ahead. 1, 2. And she starts catching up. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice.
Still in this race. Alright. We're about halfway across the lake now, and about 10 minutes over time, and I do need to be up early tomorrow. So, in this exciting race, as the party cheers for their guys, we're going to have to finish up next time. But, Laramendis, you're winning.
It's true. But it's still really close, so...
This is the equivalent of an ad break in the middle of a sports channel.
Yeah, and now a word from our sponsors. Our sponsors are the Tuca Mages Guild, who make such products as Power Word Stun Scrolls.
And your local bar dentist.
Exactly. Oh, man. Alright, I'm really glad that I put the amount of thought I did into how this would work, because I did not want this to be dumb and boring, and I think that while there's probably improvements I could make, this is not half bad.
I think it's a very fun way to do it.
Alright. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Let's see, where are we at? Right, that's going to be, please take 1,800 experience. Because this is not technically combat.
Oh shit! I have to re-log because I'm on a different device.
And
What
I
number
will.
you said?
1,800.
What was the number? Okay, cool.
Under 4,000 to go.
And I will catch all of you guys the next time we meet, which is, I guess, not next week, but the week after, hopefully.
1,378. That's all I need.
Yeah, I'm very close to the same number actually.
All right, well, it's cool. The next time we meet, that session is going to give 1,377.
Oh, you bitch.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and tune in next time for more turtle racing.
I mean, it's been like years in the making.
It really has. All right, bye, stream.
Nice stream.
Goodbye.
Bye.